What's going on, Chazz? How you feeling today?
I'm doing all right yourself. Thanks for asking.
Oh man, so we got a lot to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about what do we need more as a people? What do we need to do? I know you have a lot to say about that because
Yeah,
there's a whole lot of things that we must do as a people. I know you would agree with that.
yeah, 100%. Like we have on some of the checkpoints. I think the main one I would say is accountability. That's the main one for me. We like to
Mm.
point the fingers at others. Always say this everybody else's fault. We never want to take hits and take criticism and look in the mirror. But it's the main one I agree with.
Okay, then having said that, let me say this about this broadcast. This broadcast can be seen every Wednesday at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. And then on the East Coast or the Midwest, it can be seen at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. So we want you to set your clocks up to that so you can watch us because we definitely have a whole lot to get into. Because I think as a people, man, we have to open up and be honest about our current situation, and we have to be really transparent when we talk about that. And before I put up any of our banners, Chad, before we talk about some of the things that we need to do more of as a people, when I grew up, man, there was this song back in the 1965s, and the chorus was great because the chorus says, "What the world needs now." That's the name of the song. "What the world needs now is love, sweet love." That was the name of the song. But the
Okay.
chorus went like this: "What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone." Now, our people, we need so much today, Chaz. And I hope those who are tuning in will comment because it's important that we all put our 2 cents in to make this happen. So, starting off, Chaz, I know you're going to take it away, but tonight we're talking about what do we need more of as a people.
Letter A, kindness. Being nice, caring, and helpful to others without expecting anything back. I would agree with that 1,000%. I mean, most of the time when we do things to others, we are looking for money back. We're looking for someone to pay us some kind of fee. When we should just be doing these things out of the kindness of our heart. And once again, like you're saying, without expecting anything back. That's the one I keep harping on because if you take away money or you take away people giving you gift cards and things like that, we have to start just thinking about just doing it because you know that other person's in lack and you want to see them be in a better spot. So, in working on our attitude, brothers, another thing I would say, because a lot of us are short tempered, we don't really have time for anyone. So, I would say being kind is the main part that we should be working on as well.
Yeah, let's take our time tonight, Chaz, and let's really dissect these different points because we look at ourselves as a people, and if we're honest, and if we have any sense of moral integrity, we know that we're not kind. A lot of us are cruel. A
Yeah.
lot of us we exhibit behavior that causes pain and suffering to others, and we should not be like that. We're already suffering enough. This is a wicked world. This is an evil world.
Yeah.
There's so much harshness going on, and let's just be honest, a lot of us are just mean. When you
Mm.
we're just mean. We have a lack of generosity or compassion. When
Okay.
people are hurting and when people are just going through, we're not kind at all. And I think we need to just take our time and talk about how mean some of us are, Chaz. And most of us talk about some profession of a faith, but yet we're the ones that are the meanest. Wouldn't you think so too?
Yeah, I would agree a lot, 100%. That is 100% spot on about how sometimes, like I said, we're just so in our own world where sometimes we don't even recognize, even on our facial recognition, when someone speaks to us, our faces and stuff are contorted, looking all crazy and stuff. So, yeah, these are all things that boils back to kindness that I think we should start being more self aware of.
Yeah, because I can take that a step further because we're getting deep into this word kindness tonight. We normally hit and miss, but we're really getting into what we need as a people. When I look around, Chaz, I see some of us, we're just rude.
Yeah.
The young to the old to the young to the young, and the old to the old. I mean, we can't have a simple discussion without someone being rude, impolite,
Yeah.
disrespectful. You see, and it boils down to we're selfish, and that's
Yeah.
not being kind at all. We're cold, Chaz. We don't even speak to one another. We don't talk to one another, and
Wow.
we're hostile and unfriendly. And I think we have to take the lid off this thing tonight and talk about how aggressive we are and not kind. But in our minds, we want people to think we are, but we're also just indifferent. And so I think this word kindness has been thrown around in the mud, but yet we don't like to mimic the definition: being nice, caring, and helpful to others. Here's the last part, and I know you want to say just a little bit about this and we'll go on, but it says being helpful to others without expecting anything back.
Like I just said about 5 minutes ago, I believe, without expecting any money, without expecting any gift cards, without expecting anything back. Just like I said earlier, seeing someone that's in lack, you see that they need help, you see that they're in desperation. So you know what? Even if they can't pay me back, I'm still going to be there for that individual and try to be there for them. And even if they do, I mean, I can have the decency to say, you know what, ma'am, sir, that's okay. I don't need it. But I just want to do that because I see you're in lack and I want to see you do a little bit better. But yeah, I agree with that last part 1000%. We got our first comment of the day. Sister Barbara Fires in here. She says, so Tep Kings, appreciate her. Sister Marie Fires behind her. It says, so Tep family, we appreciate her.
Yeah, Chaz, as we continue to talk about what we need more of, I think, Chaz, and you can help me if I'm just going astray here, but I really think that we have some mental issues, although they don't come across as mental issues, because we've been going through this for so long, but we have some psychological issues, emotional trauma, and we haven't dealt with that as a people. And as a result, we find ourselves being mean. We find ourselves being the way we're talking now. And I'm saying to those who are watching this, you have to want to be a better person. And I can't stress that enough, Chaz. And I know I sound like a broken record. Every week I say the same thing, but it all boils down to, when are we going to do something for ourselves to make ourselves better? Not talk about it, not sing about it, not pray about it, not shout about it, but when are we going to take the medicine that we always dish out to other people?
I don't think we're going to take it. Like I said, we like to dish it, but we can't take it. And especially when someone says it in a nice way. You know what? I've seen that you haven't been so kind lately. I see you've been really, really aggressive. Sometimes we're so defensive, brother, and we so on edge. When someone tells us in a polite way, we flip it on them or we snap on them. And it's not about that, but that's just the way some of us are. We'll proceed to move on to the next one. Letter B, cooperation. Working together to get things done. And let me stress this one here. Okay. Working together to get things done without any chaos, without any drama. See, when we cooperate with people, we're looking for something. We're looking for to get some beef started. We're looking to get some kind of chaos started instead of just saying, you know what, we got a group project to do. Let's go ahead and knock this out. The smallest inconvenience or the smallest little thing that gets on our nerves, we ready to fly off the handle and just go crazy. So I would say working together without any drama is my main point on letter B with cooperation.
And I'll agree with you on that too, because most of us who like to think that we're Afrocentric, you know, we like to talk about the ancients of old, our ancestors. We love to harp on them. But what we don't look at is one of the principles of the Nguzo Saba is unity. And that has to do with cooperation. And as you just so eloquently stated, many of us, we don't know what it means to be unified because we're so messy. You know, it's even hard nowadays, Chaz, and I find myself dealing with this. I have a difficult time communicating with people because we're so disunited. You know, we're so estranged. Communication is even hard now. We can't even have a serious discussion about unity. We don't even know what an agenda is. What should we unify on? See? And working together is very important. Everyone else that have gotten somewhere in the world, they coalesce together and they work together to get something done. But many of us, we have all the answers, but we don't work with others. We're not a part of any organization that's powerful, that's doing something to help the community. We're not helping our youth. We're not helping the adults, the seniors. So we look at this word cooperation, but we really need more of it. We need a whole lot more of it. And it starts with us, each individual.
I agree with that 100%. 100%. Moving on to the next one, humility. Not thinking that you're better than others, but willing to listen and learn. I would agree with that too. And always, I would say when you recognize your place in the world and not
Mm.
overestimating yourself, because I think you can get being not having humility, thinking that you're more than, thinking that you're better than, thinking that you don't have time for this individual or these people. You have to learn how to say, you know what, not thinking better of yourself, helping just certain individuals or one person to become better instead of thinking, oh, I don't have time for her. He ain't worth it. She ain't worth it. I don't think that they even worth my time. That's inhumane, I would say. So we need to work on just being more what you would call in touch with reality instead of always, dismissing people.
Yeah, humility is basically seeing yourself for who you really are. But see, we want other people. This is where we go wrong. We know who we are. We know what we have. We know what we don't have. But we want other people to see us as these rich people. All you have to do is let us get something, because we're so materialistic. We
Yeah.
think things make us. If we get a new house, a new car, a new apartment, a new this, new clothes, we really think we're something. And sometimes we don't like to be bothered with people because we think we're better than they are. Now, we don't say it because we always say, oh, we're all the same and we're just humans. But when you look at our actions and our behavior, you come to find out that many of us, we really do think that we're better than other people. And a lot of times we even say it in our language. We'll say, oh, I ain't got time for that person. I ain't fooling
Yeah.
with them. That's a
Yeah.
sign to say that we think we're better than people. But let's not forget the last part of that, because that's the first part we talked about. But look at what the rest of it says. But willing to listen and to learn. Listen and learn.
Yeah.
Because a lot
I would
we
agree.
learn. Well, go ahead, Chess. Go ahead. Because I want to say something about that listening and learning.
No, go ahead. I was going to piggyback on what you said, but go ahead. I'll let you go.
Okay, see, but to listen and to learn, chat, that's where it's all at. It's at listening and learning, you see. But most of us, and I often say this, we think we know everything. And
Yeah.
so this is why we will never be able to get humility, because it's just hard. It's like pulling teeth nowadays to get someone to listen to you. We as a people, we always want to be right. We always want to have our way. We always think we have the right answers, and we never say, I don't know. We never say, that was beautiful, Chaz, what you just said. I just learned something from you, because we're not listening while I'm talking. You're ready. You're thinking, how can I get back in on him? Well, he left a loophole, so I can get in there on him and bust it up. So it's like we don't listen and we don't learn, and that's why we have to have these discussions about, we really need more humility. We need more kindness. We need more cooperation, as you just stated earlier. But I think it's just paramount that we do.
Sister Barbara fires in here. She says, not knowing how to or just unwilling to check oneself with hostility hinders us from being kind. Yeah, hostility is something that some of us do. Like I said, we have it, and some of us not even thinking twice. We do it, and it does limit us from being kind. I would say 100%. She's spot on with that.
Yeah, I want to piggyback off what she said, the second part or the middle part, because she says not knowing how to. Yeah, I think we know how. I think we know how. The part that we don't do is the second part, where she says, or just unwilling to check oneself. See, we don't want for others to tell us anything. We want everyone to think we're the sharpest knife in the cabinet. We want
Yeah.
everyone to think that we're just, we just know everything. It's like, no matter what comes up, we have something to say about it. And I know all of us are not that bright. I know we're not experts in every subject that comes around. But let
Right.
us tell it, we don't want to check ourselves, you see. And she says we don't want to check ourselves with hostility. It hinders us from being kind. And that's something that we all must work on. And we must work very diligently in that area, because it shows in all of our lives. It shows in our lives that
Oh
we
yeah.
really need to just, as they say, take a chill pill.
Yeah. I agree. Letter C, accountability. Taking responsibility for your actions and admitting your mistakes. And I'm saying your with emphasis because we as an individual, we as people, we like to shift the blame. We like to say it's his fault, her fault. I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. They were the reason. The world is no, some of it, not all the time, some of it is our fault, brother. Some of us don't like to say, you know what, this project went wrong because I was late, I screwed up.
Wow,
We don't
wow,
like to
yeah,
say it was
yeah.
me. So I want to keep putting that emphasis on ourselves because we always shift it to others instead of saying, I did that. I need to become better.
Right,
Um,
right.
and that's all I have to say about that one, that we don't like to take responsibility for our actions.
And I don't really hear that often. As you were just saying that, I was snickering because I don't hear people saying that.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be right. Now, taking responsibility, we always blame other people for our actions. And to me, that's a sign of a sickness, Chazz. And I think we need to delve deep into this one too, because I can throw out some words that's related to this, but they're opposite. Because when you take responsibility for your actions, you show yourself to be mature. You don't show yourself to be immature. But many of us, instead of being responsible, we're irresponsible. Yeah, we're irresponsible because we don't want to take care of the things that we're supposed to do. Many of us don't take care of our health. Many of us don't take care of our minds. Many of us don't take care of our thoughts. Many of us don't take care of ourselves. And, we're unreliable. That's another part that deals with
Wow.
accountability. In other words, we can't be trusted. And that's a shame when people can't trust you because
Yeah.
they know you're not going to do what you're supposed to do. See, and
And
that's go ahead, Chaz, go with that.
I was just gonna say real quick. I wanted to touch on that unreliability. That is so true, brother. A lot of us, we can't show up to anything on time. You got to be somewhere at 8 o'clock. You got to be there fashionably late. You got to show up 30, 45 minutes instead of saying, you know what? Let me set my alarm clock an hour or two ahead. Give myself enough time to get to my destination. And even if there is a backup on the highway or anything like that, I'm giving myself enough time to get there. But when you're unreliable, you're not showing up to work, people can't trust you to do anything. I would say that's a huge problem, is not being reliable to show up and deliver. That's just a terrible spot to be in.
Right. And see, we're accountable to the dumb stuff. See, we're accountable to the silly stuff. We're accountable to sports. We're accountable
Yeah.
to the media. We're accountable to social media. We're accountable to entertainment. We're accountable to food. We're going to eat, Chaz. We're going to eat come hell or high water. We're going to eat.
Yeah.
So we're accountable to some things, but we're
Right.
not accountable to the things that we need to be accountable for because we're dishonest. Let's be honest. We're dishonest because we don't want to tell the truth about our unaccountability. We're blame shifters. We always shifting the blame. It's somebody else's fault, as you said. We're very negligent. We don't pay attention, and we don't do our due diligence carefully, and we're in denial. We always refuse. If I say, Chaz, you did this, you're gonna deny it. No, I didn't do it. You did that. See, and we're careless. We're very careless, not being careful in our thoughts. And this is why I think this subject is going to have to be stretched out for another week or two because we can't comb through this. As I noticed tonight, we're really taking our time. And I think that's very important because what do we need more now as a people? We need to stop avoiding the issues that we face. And so all that goes with being accountable.
Letter D, problem solvers, finding solutions to problems instead of only complaining about them. Absolutely. That's the main thing. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. This is annoying. This is annoying. That's annoying. Instead of saying, you know what, these things may be annoying for a little bit, but I need to find some kind of solution. And if you don't have any solution for it, get somebody on the phone, YouTube, Google. They got this new thing now, a Chat GPT. You got all kind of ways that you can get solutions, but here's the thing, brother. I think we love the problem so much, and we love
What?
complaining about things so much that we don't want the solutions. We want to complain.
What?
We want to gripe. We don't want the solutions because when we complain about things, it gets people to feel sorry for us. It gets people to really look at us, and they feel sorry for us. And I think that's what really most of us are looking for.
This is my new motto, and I didn't wait. I don't have to wait for the first of the year to make a new Year's resolution. This is something that I have to do in my life right now. So I'm going to be talking more about this in our upcoming broadcast whenever I speak, because I'm going to shift my focus in my life personally now to being a problem solver. See, because like you mentioned, there are problems everywhere, but I want to be I want to find solutions. You see, I don't want to only complain. I will complain, but I want to be able to solve the problem, Chazz. And that's one of the things, or we call Achilles heels in our people, because we don't want to find the solution, although we're quick to show the problem. We're quick, like you mentioned, to complain. We're quick to grumble. We're quick to gripe. So my new motto going forward is I'm going to try to find the solution and make sure that a lot of the things that I'm dealing with, I want to be the one who solved that, because I'm telling you now, a lot of solutions, we have them, Chazz. If we just open up and see what can we do, we have the solution. But like you mentioned, we don't want the solutions because we're messy. And so that's what we need to do more of as a people. As I mentioned, the song that I grew up on was what'd you say, Chad? You froze up on that one.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can, but you froze up right before you said whatever you said. So you might want to repeat that so our audience can hear what you said.
Oh, I was just going to say, I was going to take it a step further with when we keep complaining like that, we get so much attention to ourselves and we get people to feel sorry for us. And most of us looking for sympathy. That's why we don't really want the solutions. That's all I was going to say on that one.
Okay, so tonight's broadcast, for those who want to comment, tonight's broadcast is, what do we need more of as a people? And I was telling Chazz at the outset, the little song that I heard, it was corny. The song was kind of stale, but it was called What the World. It was, Chazz, when you look back on it. It was like, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. But our people need much more than love right now. You mentioned earlier, we need kindness. We need cooperation. We need humility. We need accountability. We need to be problem solvers. And this is what we need to be as well.
Letter E, critical thinkers. Stop allowing people to tell you anything and you believe it. Exactly. We've talked about this on plenty of broadcasts. If it's someone you like, there's someone you look up to, a big influencer, they can tell you anything in this world and you're going to believe it because you look up to them. And here's the thing. It's nothing wrong with looking up to people, but fact check them. Fact check them. Google it, YouTube it. Look at what they're saying. Don't just believe it because you like or admire that person to be telling you for your own that's going to poison your behind, but you're going to sit there and eat it hook, line, and sinker because you like them. But you have to think for yourself, ask yourself, does this make sense? And if it doesn't, do some more due diligence and research on it. Stop just eating anything that they feed your behind.
Yeah. Now, the word that I want to put with that is called credulity, or credulous. That's a person who believes anything. Now, I have students that I teach, right? And we talk about this, and they always challenge each other. And I always smile when I hear it because they know that you just can't say anything and not really back it up. Now, we don't question everything that comes out of their mouths, but the credulity today in the African-American community, it's incredible. It is incredible how we allow people to tell us things. And Chazz, now, if I told you this, you would tell me, come on, John, that's stupid. You would say that was very fatuous. In other words, if I said, I saw a spaceship and I saw a man with two antennas and the man was green, it looked like a man. He had one eye in his forehead and two antennas dangling over his head. You would say to me, come on, man. But if I tell you something else, because you like what I hear, you're more inclined to believe that. The credulity of us today, Chazz, and I hope people put that in their vocabulary because it's at an all-time high. We believe anything somebody tells us and we'll get angry. When the truth is told, we get angry. So we need more critical thinkers. And Chazz, listen, there's nothing wrong with being a critical thinker. There's nothing wrong with that. Right. If you question me, I'm talking now, and you may say to me, okay, Ja, what do you mean by critical thinker? Instead of me explaining that to you, I get angry because you're questioning me. And this is how we act as a people. And it's sad, man. It's really sad.
Yeah, Sister Barbara says LOL. Yeah, you have to, because like I said, this is how people, like in these parking lots that they sell these colognes, they sell these perfumes, they sell you they sell you anything, and they say, oh, this is just like Puff Daddy's cologne. You have to say, you know what? I know you're trying to get a hustle, but let me critically think. Or what you sell is what you telling me factual? And if it's not, challenge them, and you don't have to do it in a hostile way. You can do it in a polite way. You know what? I don't agree with you, sir. I don't agree with you, ma'am. But quit always allowing people, because you will be taken advantage of. Because and here's the thing, and I'll pass it. Sometimes a person can see if another man or woman is gullible, and they know sometimes by just looking at a person, oh, he'll fall for it or she'll fall for it, and they sell it to your behind.
Yeah, like a man trying to sell you a necklace that he said he got from China somewhere that's pure gold. So he charges you $300. He charges you $300 for that necklace, and you going around telling everybody because he told you that. Look at this whip. Look at this. Everybody like, wow, look at this, Chazz. That's good. As soon as you get in the shower, because he said you can shower in it, you can shave in it, you can do anything in it. As soon as you get in the shower, you let that water hit that thing, and all that come off and it's green. See, now you're angry. You're angry because you're itching around the neck and gold, and you're because you were so credible. So it's like, Chazz, we have to be critical thinkers in what we say, and a lot of us don't like to be challenged because we've been told, don't challenge what I say, because we've heard those things so many years. I want to take a minute out, Chazz, before we keep going and make a commercial break. A commercial break is, if you're not doing anything this coming up Tuesday at 6:30 or 7 o'clock, we want you to watch the Jahi and the Kev show. The Jahi and the Kev show. And this week, this Tuesday on the Jahi and the Kev show, we're going to be talking about this movie called Sinners. I advise you, if you haven't seen it, to go out and see it. Now, Kev and I, we don't believe in vampires and all of that. But what we're going to do is talk about some truths that movie taught. Because we're looking at now, there's truth in a lot of things. You have to dig deep and get the truth out. How did that speak to us? Not the fiction about vampires, but what happened to Black people when they have relationships in a situation that's crucial. So once again, if you haven't seen the movie, or if you haven't seen it and you're not going to see it before this Tuesday, I'm going to tell you, don't watch the Jahi and Kev show, because we're going to be talking about this Sinners movie, Michael B. Jordan, Coogler, and what they did. And I'm telling you now, I think all of us should watch it, and just so we can see how people react in a crisis. Whenever there's a crisis, we act a certain way. And there was a crisis, although it was fictional. There was a crisis, and we find out how we all act. So that's, once again, if you haven't joined us, please subscribe to the Jahi and Kev show this Tuesday, and we'll put the number up Tuesday about where you can call in so we can talk about that. So here again, Chazz, let's go back to what we're talking about tonight. What do we need more of as a people? The last thing we said was critical thinkers. Take this one away.
Letter G, gratitude, being thankful, grateful, and appreciative in the little things. I would agree with that. Being thankful for the things that you do have. Like we have, most of us who are watching this, we have a phone that works, we have water, we have a refrigerator with food in it, we have clothes to put on. These are things that you should be thinking about with gratitude. Being thankful for having a vehicle, if you have a moped, a bike, if you have enough money to catch a bus. Some of these things, brother, that we have, that we take advantage of, that we think little of, people are on the outside looking in, wishing to be in our shoes. Not that we're rich, but I'm saying wishing that they had their own vehicle, wishing that they had clean water. Some of these people in these third countries, they are going through it. They don't have clean water. So my thing is just being thankful for some of the little things that you have, and they put your attention on things that's important, because here we get so stuck up on the things that we don't have and the things that we wish we could have, instead of being caught up on the things that we do have that are minor, but we don't take pride and we're not thankful of them.
Yeah, we have a lot of ingrates, people that are ungrateful. We every day we think certain things should happen. We're so used to this here, this whole monotonous lifestyle we have. we think that we should wake up at a certain time, we should drink our coffee, we should get our cigarettes, we should watch TV, we should have our cell phone, we should go out and do this, we should go out and do that, we should come in, we should watch this. You know, we're ingrates, many of us. Now, and I'm not saying be thankful to a divine being. If you want to be thankful to a divine being, that's your thing, and I don't have a problem with that. But I'm saying just be thankful in and of yourself. Be grateful because you and I don't have to be in this situation, and we should be appreciative, like it says, for the little things. Be appreciative that you have your right
Yeah.
mind. Yeah, be appreciative on those things that we take for granted.
Yeah.
Being able to see, being able to walk.
Yeah.
Just be grateful that we can go outside and smell. We can smell the roses. So again, for some reason, Chazz, for some reason, you keep going out on us. But I don't know what you have to do to get back in. But there's a black spot on the other side of the screen. But tonight, for those who are watching this broadcast, we're talking about what do we need more of as a people. And we talked about many things that we need. And as you can see, I'm slowing it down because it's very important that we take time out to look at what we need as a people. We've already gone over, we need to be more kind. We need to be nice to people. You know, we need to be caring. We need to be helpful without expecting anything back because our people are struggling big time. We need to be cooperative, unity. We need humility. We need to be accountable, is what we talked about. We need to be problem solvers. We also need to be critical thinkers. We also should be grateful. So here's Chazz back again, getting back in there. So I don't know what's going on, Chazz, but I was just recapping what we're talking about here. So we just want to keep talking here.
Sister Didi Foss in here. She says, hello, everyone. Hey, Didi. We appreciate her for logging in.
Yeah, so tonight we want to continue to talk about, Chazz, what do we need more of as a people? Now, I'm going to give you another one to put on there, and you can talk about this one, too. And I want to encourage people with this one.
Okay, and if I could, real quick, I was just going to back up real quick because I was thinking about something as my phone was messed up on the previous point on gratitude. With our health, for some of us who are able to get up, go to, and this is minor. I know people are going to say, well, why did he say that? But this is serious because all it takes is one surgery. All it takes is one injury. All it takes is for us to have to go to rehabilitation. And we take our health for granted, being able to get some water, drive yourself to some of your appointments and not being able to just, like I said, get up and fix yourself food. There's a lot of people in our situations who are young or old who can't get up, who have to have someone wait on them. Just to be mindful of these kind of things with your health, that if you still have them as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of us who have been cut on like a weird piece of meat for many years, and it's like it's caught up with us. But it's like this is the kind of stuff that we don't like to talk about. We have children, we have grandchildren. We be grateful for them. They may not be the best, but be grateful for them. We have mothers and fathers, sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles. Be grateful that they are who they are. Now, yeah, we want them to be a certain way, and that's another broadcast. But be grateful sometimes, y'all. Quit being ingrates, and quit thinking everybody owes us something. Quit talking about people all the time. Accept them for who they are. Yeah, they have problems. We all have problems. But a lot of times we keep forgetting that we ain't always been this way. We had to come to the realization of who we are. So be grateful for who we are.
Letter H, resilience. The ability to bounce back and staying strong after a setback and when something bad happens. Exactly. There are going to be things that's going to happen to us in life, but we can't just fold up. We can't just quit. We can't just throw in a towel and say, you know what, I'm tired. That really, really pushed me over the edge. I can't recover. But you have to put in your mind, say, you know what, even if this does happen, it may take me a month. It may take me 2 months to bounce back, but I'm going to fight through this instead of always folding up when something happens. I keep saying this, and I'm going to say this to people like Malcolm X and these guys that were around back in the day. Do you think that everything with them, I'm pretty sure they had some of everything that were going against them, but they didn't just fold up when stuff got hard. They kept fighting back.
Yeah, that's so true, Chaz. And that's very well spoken. Resilience means, as he said earlier, the ability to bounce back. Every one of us have been through something, setbacks. We've been through tough times in life. We've had some things happen to us that we just didn't like, and it affected us. So we're honest, it affects us. This is why I like doing these kinds of broadcasts, because we're being honest. We're laying the cards on the table. For all of you who say they're not talking to me, you are a liar, and the truth is not in you, because all of us have been through something. And a lot of those things have hurt us. They've crushed us. But we want to encourage you. You bounce back. Come back. Stay strong, you see, after a setback. Don't stay in the mud and waddle. Don't stay there complaining. Don't stay there just, waddling in the mud and griping and moaning and murmuring and groaning. We bounce back, because you can do so, and you're going to be a beautiful person. Sometimes those setbacks helps you to see how strong you really are. See, you might say, I didn't think I could handle this, but you did. So you go back and draw from those things that you went through and use that as your strength. So again, we need to be resilient. Stop giving up. Tell your children and your grandchildren, tell yourself, no matter what happened to me, I'm going to come back, and I'm going to come back bigger and better than ever. I'm not going to come back weak. Chaz, what about this statement we make? What doesn't kill you will make you stronger, or something like that. We say that, that's a lie. What doesn't kill us, it makes us weak sometimes. It makes us angry. It makes us frustrated. Go ahead, Chaz.
I was going to say real quick, I definitely agree 100% on that. That is a lie, that saying that doesn't kill you. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. There's a lot of things that have really, literally, and I'm not laughing at these people, that has literally killed these people because it was too much to bear.
Exactly. Boy, Chaz is having all kind of technical issues tonight. When he comes back, I'll let him pick it up, but I want to just take what he said and run with it. Listen, stop letting people tell you these lies, and quit listening to all these old wives' tales. What doesn't hurt you, or what doesn't hurt you, kill you, it makes you stronger. That's a lie in many instances. What doesn't kill us or what doesn't harm us, it makes us bitter. It makes us angry. It makes us antisocial. It makes us want to avoid people. So what I'm trying to get at tonight is, and so is Chaz, is these are the things that we need more of as a people. We have so much against us, y'all. You need to be watching broadcasts and podcasts that's going to teach you and I how to deal with the life's problems that we face on a day-to-day basis with our children, with our grandchildren, with our siblings, with our jobs, with our coworkers, with our health, with just the world in which we live in. So we've got to realize that we are going to have to bounce back. And I want to encourage all of you. I really want to encourage all of us. No matter what you're going through or what you and I have been through, you can come back, and you can come back strong. You can come back stronger, but use what happened to make you a better person. Don't use what happened to make you bitter. Don't use what happened to make you a complainer all the time. So once again, we're talking about what do we need more of as a people? And when Chaz come back, I'll ask him about this resilience. But for some reason, his connection is really shot tonight. So I'll continue on with this discussion because we have to keep the train moving. Another thing that we need more of as a people is we need to be open-minded. We need to have what is called open-mindedness. Don't sit on this broadcast and tell us you're open-minded or I'm open-minded if I don't want to listen to what you have to say. I don't have to agree with what you have to say, but I should at least listen to it. Be willing to listen to new ideas and consideration to things that you may not agree with, even if they are valid, you see. See, a lot of us know the things that we are told. A lot of us know those things are valid, but because we've been taught something all of our lives, we throw the baby out with the bathwater. So I told him, Chaz, when you came back, you weren't done with this resilience thing. So to bounce back. So I want you to get that off your chest because that's when it cut off. And we'll go back to the essence, which is open-mindedness.
First of all, I apologize. I don't know what's going on with this phone. This is like the second time I restarted it. I hope it doesn't do this again. But I was just basically saying off that old saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That's a lie. There's a lot of things that have taken us out. There was too much on that person's plate. It was too much for that person to bear. It was way too much for that person, and it took them out. And that saying, it sounds good. It feels good. It makes us feel good inside. But that is farthest from the truth that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. There's some people it was just way too much on their plate.
It goes back to this one, Chazz. Critical thinkers. Stop allowing people to tell you anything and believe it. Because I'm gonna add to that. Since you open up this Pandora's box, I'm gonna add to it. So what I'm talking about, Chazz, is this. They say you only live once. That's a lie. You live every day. You live every day. You don't only live once. You live every day. So grab all the gusto you can grab. That's a lie, Chazz. You don't live one day and that's it. You live every day of your life. And if you multiply how old you are times 365, and you can count the leap years later, but if you multiply 365 times your age, that's how many days you have lived. So stop letting people tell you that you only live once. You live every day, man. But these are the things that we must talk about. What we need to do more of. We have to do more of this here too, Chazz.
Okay. Letter I, open-mindedness, being willing to listen to new ideas in consideration to things you may not agree with that are valid. I agree with that 100%. We don't always have all the answers. There's new ways. There's new technology. There's always new things that are being invented that's going to help help us get things done faster and for us to become better people. But to sit back and say, and this is what they say, it's my way or the highway. That's the kind of thinking this stuff is. You don't want to accept anything new. You don't want to have any kind of videos or anything that's going to help you. You're so old-fashioned, stuck in your own ways. You don't want to listen to anything. And you have to be open and willing to be open to new ideas, be open to new techniques, be open to new things that can actually help you and may save you time in the process.
And I want to add to that, Chazz. Even if you, go ahead. You say even if you what?
Oh, I was just gonna say real quick, you don't agree with it. Listen to the person, make sure it makes sense, and then try to go with it. But that's all I had to say on that one.
Okay, and I'm gonna add to that because you definitely throw me a lot of softballs tonight, and I want to try to hit them out the park. You're not throwing them fast, you're throwing them soft. I appreciate that. See, and here's the thing, Chazz. I'm gonna tell you why we're not open-minded, even though we need more of it as a people. This is why we're not open-minded. Life has beaten the crap out of all of us. Life has slapped us around. We've been in bad relationships. Our health is bad. Our minds are bad. Our finances are bad. You know, our jobs are bad. Life has done us in. Our friends have done us wrong. Our family has done us wrong. The world has been against us, so to speak. And because life has slapped us up against the wall many, many times, now our minds are closed. We don't want to learn any new ideas. We don't want to sit down and have a beautiful conversation about open-mindedness. See, we've been taught some things since we were little kids, and it's closed. Everything is closed. Nothing's going to get in, and nothing's going to get out. So we need to be open-minded. We didn't say that. There he goes again, y'all. So there must be something wrong with his phone. But we didn't say that everything that someone tells you, you have to believe. We didn't say that. But you should at least listen to new ideas and consideration to things that you may not even agree with. Consider those things. You don't have to accept them, but you should say, you know what? That sounds good. You know, I never thought of that. I need to look into that. Now I'm open to that, you see, as opposed to you're stuck. You're set in your own way. You're very pig-headed. You know, I'm very just broad when it comes to what I've been told, as opposed to what I should be opening up to. So, Chazz, I was just saying how stubborn we are. We are stubborn as a people. And again, I keep telling you this, but you're going to believe me one day. Chazz, I don't talk that much to many people. I run my mouth more on this broadcast than I do pretty much in life.
What?
I can't get through because everybody knows everything. You know, I'm too busy always arguing. And I know you told me this a long time ago. Your thing is this. when a person isn't open-minded, you always say, yep, 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 yep. So you agree with them because you're saying that, okay, I'm not going to argue with a fool. If you are not open up, and I notice you do that a lot. If somebody keeps saying the same thing and you're not getting through, you say, oh, yep, yep, you're right. And so you came to that conclusion, and I guess I should have came to that conclusion a long time ago because that works. Because see, I'm stuck. I'm steady trying to beat this in them. But you're saying if they're not open-minded, agree and move on.
Yeah, and I don't know. It seems like a lot of us, brother, you talked about the word stubborn. I don't know for the elders, black, white, Mexican, Jap, Chinese, it doesn't matter the race. It does appear when we get older, we get hard-hearted, and we do get stubborn. And I don't know what that's about. Why? Let me ask you this. Why do you think as we get older, we get so stubborn and not really want to listen to new ideas? This stubbornness, what's this about?
Yeah, well, I think I told you earlier, and I'll repeat it because I definitely want to be consistent. The reason that we're the way we are because life. Chazz, if you look at life, ever since you were a little boy till now, when you think about all the downs that happen, now there have been ups as well, but the downs, they take precedence over the ups. And when you think about all the wrongdoings that people have done to you, all the lies people have told you, all the abusive language that you've heard, all of the setbacks, this makes us the way we are today. So we run to places trying to find love, trying to find belonging, trying to find happiness, trying to find some place in this world to fit. And even that doesn't work. Even that doesn't work. Now, here's a funny part. Someone says, pay your phone bill, Chazz, and start laughing. But no, this is what I'm saying, Chazz. A lot of us, you got to look, life has done us in, man. It really has.
Yeah. Letter J, patience. Waiting without getting upset when things or people are not the way you want them to be. Yeah, and I need to practice this too. Sometimes when I'm driving, there's a person, they're driving 20 miles per hour and they're on the highway, and I look in the window, not being rude to them, but it's an elder with glasses on, and they're just getting around. Going to the grocery store, I want to go in there and get a couple groceries and come out. But the self-checkout is the only thing that's open. There's about 50 or 60 people in front of me. I'm antsy. I'm ready to hurry up and get my stuff and get out of the store. These are all little things that I'm telling myself. I need to be more patient at the self-checkout. Sometimes the machine, when you get to the machine, you pay for your items. And once you put the cash in, there's something that goes wrong with the money. You got to wait for the customer service clerk to come by and do some crap so you can get your money back. Being patient is something that we all need to do because we're all antsy. We're all on edge. We're all ready to go to point A to point B. But you have to say, you know what? Even tonight with this phone, I've been really, really frustrated with this phone, brother. Time after time after time, I'm coming back on, getting off. These are all things that lead to patience that we all need to be practicing.
That's so true, Chazz. I'll let you say this comment and then I'll pick it up where you left off at.
Sister Sakina fires in here. She says, peace and blessings, everyone. Hey, Sister Sakina.
Yeah, see, the next subject is what do we need more of as a people? Now, this right here, we need more than patience, but we do need patience. In other words, we need to wait without getting upset when things or people are not the way we want them to be. And see, this is why sometimes I have an issue with certain religions, you see, because I'm not a so-called religious person, but they want you to be the way they want you to be. If you're not the way they want you to be, they condemn you. They talk about you. They put you down instead of trying to lift you up. They look at you as an outcast. And even in our own lives, with our family members, my family members all have issues and I have issues too. But we have to be patient with them, Chazz. This life is a process. Life is a journey. We've got to be patient because we want everything to be the way we want it to be. And this is an indictment upon us. But if we want to be successful as a people, we have to be patient and quit. We get upset, and you can tell when we get upset because we start raising our voices, snarling our noses, talking loud to people just because they're not the way we want them to be. And what we forget, and this is what I'm saying about, well, he's gone again. But anyway, this is what I say about those, some of the religious people, not all of them, because some of them are doing what they're supposed to do. But some of the religious people, you know, they get angry when you're not the way they want you to be, but they forget before they became religious, look at what they did, you see? And this is why it's so hypocritical. But they want to cast aspersion on you. They want to make you seem like you're the bad guy or you're the bad girl. But yet, before they came to know this deity that they claim to worship, they were some hellions. But now, all of a sudden, they found the way. They've seen the light, and now they want people to look at them as if they have all the answers. And I was just talking about some Chazz and some religions. They keep forgetting that before they became religious, they were hellions. But now that they've seen the light, now that the light has struck them, now that they're into what they get into, now they want to look down on everybody, and they want to condemn everybody. They want everybody to be like them, when the truth be told, they ain't even doing what they're supposed to do. So you got to have patience with people, Chazz. We really do. We got to teach that. You got to be patient.
Sister Barbara flies here. She says, "Teach, Jahi. I would appreciate that." But what was that word you said? You said hellions.
Hellion. We did some of everything. Like, just take for an example, a man who used to smoke, who used to drink, who used to chase women, who cheated people out of everything. And then when he comes to know his deity, now he doesn't do those things anymore. Yeah, he does. He just says he doesn't. But he said he doesn't do these things anymore. So now when he sees a man that does them, he condemns this man. Okay. He talks about this man. He talks bad about this man. But yet when he was doing it, he didn't want nobody to talk about him, you see. So this is problematic, Chazz, and we have to be patient even with ourselves, because there's a lot more growing up to do. I have a lot more growing to do. All I ask, be patient with me. But a lot of us, we want you to be like we are, because somebody then told us in the pulpit or in some kind of meeting, you are the stuff. Your stuff doesn't stink. Everybody else is wrong. Everybody else is guilty, but you got the way. And so they believe this stuff. So let me get off that soapbox, because I think I've been on that too long, Chazz. What's the next one?
Letter K, generosity, giving to others when needed. Exactly, giving to others. We all have a little bit extra we can give. And I want to say to the homeless, this is an uncomfortable subject, but generosity, you don't have to always go in your refrigerator, give them everything in it. But you drive by, and I drive by people that you see normally every day that has raggedy clothes, don't have a home, who looks like they haven't eaten in a couple of days. We can give to them. And even though, and I know what people are going to say.
What's that?
All they're going to do is going to get my money and go smoke it up. You don't know that. You don't know that. Give people a chance. And if they do that, I don't condone that. But if they do that, your heart was in the right place. You wanted them to do right. They said if they wanted a burger, you gave them money. And once again, I'm not saying that I want them to do that. But you have to start being more generous, giving to these homeless people, brother, because down here you see them everywhere. And it gets so bad that you see the same ones just about every day at the same spot, sitting at the same hotel or sitting at the same gas station that's abandoned, and they don't have anything. And we as people, especially myself included, we can do more to give back to these people who are just less fortunate. That's, to me, a good example of generosity.
That's a perfect example of generosity. And we're going to stop right here. When we pick it up next week, we're going to pick it up with generosity, because we can say much more. I haven't even gotten a chance to dive in this water, this figurative water. You got a chance to get your little feet wet with it, generosity. I haven't got a chance to talk about it, but I definitely want to come back and talk about that, because, Chazz, this right here is what it's all about. But most of us are hypocrites. We're so selfish, and that's some of the things we're going to talk about too, maybe next week, how we need more people to be more considerate, see? And we're going to deal with this, because I think this is one of the issues that's really crippling us. What do we need more of as a people? See, so let me go back with this commercial to those who's watching this. I want you to know that on the Jahi and Kev show this Tuesday at 6:30 or 7 o'clock, we'll give you information. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's a call-in, live call-in. On the Jahi and Kev show, we're going to be talking about the movie Sinners. If you haven't seen it, please get out this week before Tuesday so you can have something to say about this movie. Not so much about it being a movie about vampires, but what did we learn from people who are in a crisis situation? And that's the angle I'm going to take. And I know Brother Kevin's going to take an angle too, but we're going to multiply and come at you from all different sides, as Bootsy Collins say. We're going to come under our sheets so you can see what we're doing. See, so what we're I'm just saying, we want you to know that we have to get into, when we're in a crisis situation, I got to harp on that. most of us, we don't do right because that situation gets the best of us. And that's what I'm going to be coming at for the most part. I'm going to come at it from other angles, but I want to come at it from that angle because it tells me about you. When everything is good, you're good. You're great. But when everything, the seams bust out of the bottom and things are going awry or wrong, then you show me what kind of person you are. Now, I didn't say you got to be cool and calm and collected, but your decision making is going to tell me that you are really very, very immature, because when these crises come up, they show me what you're all about. Yeah. They show us what we're about as people. So once again, please go see the movie, Sinners. If you haven't seen it and you don't see it, you might not want to watch the Jai and Kev show, because we're going to talk a lot about what we learn, because everything is a learning tool now. And that's what we need to do, be problem solvers. So Chazz, go ahead.
I was just going to say, this is on a separate note. I listened to the show the last time you guys did, and I couldn't believe it. This is something funny that you said. I rewinded it 3 or 4 times. You said that there was a segment with you and Kevin, and y'all were talking about how you got the name Icktown. You said you went out, you got every shirt, you got every hat, you got all the shoes. And I couldn't believe that. I rewinded that 3 or 4 times.
That's how ignorant. That's how ignorant I was. That is how fatuous I was. I was very obtuse because I did that, and that's because I listened to what everybody said. They called me that. I liked it, so I went out and got everything I could, and they kept feeding me until a sister asked me, "What is it, Icktown?" I couldn't even answer, and I felt that big. And then I start getting that crap off of me. But this is what happens to me. So, tonight we've been talking about what do we need more as a people. This has been a fascinating conversation. We've slowed the train down a lot tonight. Normally we're talking fast, we're talking loud, but tonight we slowed the train down because we want you to really see what's on the train. And what's on this figurative train is there's a lot of cabooses. There's a lot of different compartments on this train that we as a people need to look at. And each one of them are labeled, what we need. One of them goes by, it says compassion. One goes by, says unity. One goes by, says humility. One goes by, says accountability. So we're trying to paint a picture with words. We're trying to show you that we as a people need to do many more things to help ourselves. And so I'm going to let Chazz say some things. I know we got Brother Raymond just coming in. We're going to have to ask him. He's got to come back. He's got to watch the broadcast, and then he can watch it in its entirety later on. So we're sorry that you just came in, Ray, but we had a great discussion. Go back and watch the whole broadcast, and then tune in next week while we finish this thing up, while we're talking about what we need more of as a people. Sister Barbara says great podcast. So Chazz, please, we got about 2 minutes to go. So I want you to go ahead and, as we say on our broadcast, I want you to take us home and let us know what do we need more as a people, and sign us off here.
I really want to apologize once again. My phone was terrible today. I don't know what was going on. I really apologize. But on top of that, what we need to do as people, this was a good broadcast. It was about having accountability, being more, having more gratitude, having these kind of attributes that's going to help us become better at life. We all are dealing with this one way or another, myself included. Having patience, stop being so gullible, stop letting people to feed and tell us anything, challenge it, not in a disrespectful way. Google it, fact check it. If they're wrong, tell them about it. Don't just take their words because you like the individual. Working together, all these kind of attributes that kind of help us as people in this, that puts us in a better position, and not always being so angry when things don't go our way. We have this mindset that we think everything should be perfect, everything should be smooth, no problems. There's always going to be chaos, there's always going to be issues, but the question is, how do you deal with it when it comes up? Do you just, go crazy and just lose it? Or do you say, you know what, I'm not going to let this dictate my mood. I know it's frustrating, but I am going to try to not fly off the handle. That's pretty much all I have to say about that one today. I apologize again for the phones today, brother.
Okay, so on behalf of Chazz, I'm Jahi. We'll see you guys next Wednesday at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern. So we definitely appreciate all you who tuned in. If you didn't get a chance, we want you to watch the broadcast and also have something to say for next week. I'm sorry, Brother Ray couldn't make it. He just woke up. Be more proactive in a positive frequency. And we'll talk about a lot of that next week. So again, we thank you for tuning in. Hope you all have a wonderful night. We'll see you all on next week. Take care.
Take care, everybody.